What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another video, and today's video is going to be another DVD/Blu-ray pickups. And today I have quite a number of things. I've got 5 things on DVD, 5 things on Blu-ray. So I've got a bunch of different stuff. All of it I'm really excited to talk about. Some of it is stuff that I have been wanting to get into and wanting to finish. Some of it's older stuff that I used to watch when I was a kid. And I just got a lot of different variety here, and so let's just get right into it. So we'll go DVD stuff first, and then we'll go the Blu-ray stuff. So that starts us off with this right here. The first thing I picked up is called Club Dread. Now this is a slasher comedy by the people that made Super Troopers. I rented this, I would say, I don't know, a long time ago. I rented this a long time ago. And I didn't know anything about Super Troopers at the time that I rented this or anything like that. And I just rented it not really knowing what it was. And I remember enjoying it. I don't really remember a lot about this movie because it's been so long since I've seen it. But I wanted to pick this one up because I do have some memories about it being sort of funny, but also like a slasher. And since I've been really into like my slasher movies lately, I wanted to pick this one up because I know that I really like the guys that made Super Troopers. They're all really funny, and if this is anything like I remember it being, it'll be really funny, and it'll be a slasher, which is exactly kind of what I wanted to get. This is the unrated edition. I don't think I've ever seen the unrated edition. I think I've only seen the rated version, so that'll be interesting. It does also come with a couple special features, some commentaries, some deleted scenes, some theatrical trailers, and whatnot. So we got some extra special features on here. Pretty cool. Really excited to get this and check this one out. I haven't seen it in a very long time, and I don't really remember a lot about it, other than the main sort of premise of it's like a sort of what's his name, Jimmy Buffett kind of guy parody, and it's just, you know, interesting. Alright, so the next thing I picked up is actually a dual movie pack, and if you've seen my videos before, you know I like to pick up these dual movie packs because it saves me on space, and sometimes I can get multiple movies that I really want to see. This is the case for this. It's a dual movie pack, and both of these movies are movies that I've been wanting to get for a while. They also have a bunch of special features on them, so that's kind of an added bonus as well. And that is the 2-movie collection of Signs and The Village. These are 2 movies that I really wanted. They're both M. Night Shyamalan films, but the reason why I really wanted them is because I really enjoy them, and they have my favorite actor in them, Joaquin Phoenix. Both of them do, and I think he does a great job in both of these movies. It also comes with special features for both of the discs. Let's see, Signs comes with deleted scenes, Night's first alien film, a documentary about the making of Signs, and a storyboard. Village comes with Deconstructing the Village, Bryce's Diary, Night's home movie, and production photo gallery. So you do get quite a number of special features for both movies, and these are pretty interesting movies to me. They're both thrillers, and The Village has more of a twist to it than Signs does, and I don't know. I know The Village gets a lot of crap, but I honestly enjoyed watching it when I first saw it, and I really like it. I think the acting's really good. I enjoy the cinematography, and it does kind of give you that eerie feeling that I think it was trying to go for, and I just really like both of these movies. So, and I've wanted to pick them up for a while, but I don't really care if I don't have them on Blu-ray. These aren't ones that I'm super crazy about, but getting both of these on DVD for like $5, it's no brainer here. So really happy to own both of those movies. I should also mention I picked up Club Dread for $5 as well. Alright, so these next 3 things that I got on DVD are things that are from my childhood. They're cartoons that I used to watch from my childhood. Some of them are things that I thought would never be on DVD, and I'm just really surprised that they even have these available. So I wanted to pick them up as soon as possible, and I've got a pretty good price on all these. So let's just go through them real quick. So the first thing that I picked up is something that's actually not super rare or anything. It's just something that I used to watch as a kid a lot. and that is Tom and Jerry and Friends. Now this is not any particular season of Tom and Jerry. I don't really think Tom and Jerry was made in season format. I just kind of think they made shorts and put them out when they were finished with them. But this is Tom and Jerry and Friends. This has 80 minutes of Tom and Jerry episodes, and they're all classic episodes. And it says on the back here which episodes are included. And I picked this up for $5, and I always loved Tom and Jerry. Now, I didn't have cable growing up, and so I was very limited in the cartoon selection that I had. I had whatever was on Fox Kids, 4Kids TV, PBS, and CBS Kids, I think, was the things that I was able to watch. And then if I wanted to watch something that wasn't on those channels that was a cartoon, I had to basically go to my local rental store and rent the free kids movies on VHS that had some cartoon episodes. And one of the things that they always had was a lot of Tom and Jerry. So I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry. I rented them all the time, and I absolutely love Tom and Jerry. It's one of my favorite cartoons. I can still watch this today and get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's just a really classic, it's a really classic cartoon. It's, if you've ever seen Simpsons, if you've never watched or heard of Tom and Jerry, which I find very hard to believe, if you ever watched Simpsons, the Itchy and Scratchy show is based off of Tom and Jerry, so it's sort of got that same dynamic, but a lot less violent. So, yeah, Tom and Jerry and Friends. Really happy to have that. Got some really good episodes on here. One thing I do wish was in here was I wish there was less episodes about the two bulldogs. I love the two bulldogs, but when I was flipping through the episode, they were in a lot of them, and they seemed to be like the main attraction of that episode, and I kind of just wanted more of the classic Tom and Jerry, Jerry chasing Tom around, and no, Tom chasing Jerry around. Oh, they both chase each other around, but I just wanted the classics like that, but I'm just happy to have that many episodes nonetheless. Alright, so the next one is probably the cartoon that I honestly watched one of the cartoons I watched the most growing up, and this is one of the ones that I was really surprised even had a release. It doesn't seem like it had a release before 2014, and this is that same release. The company bought the rights to it and put it out on DVD, which is just really surprising to me considering this show. And that is Godzilla, the complete series. This is put out by Mill Creek, and I've been hearing a lot about them since I've been getting more into getting movies and stuff. And they really do seem to buy up a lot of IPs that are just not that desirable and putting them out on DVD for people like me that want them. And Godzilla is one of those. I never thought I would see this on DVD. There was only ever like 2 releases that were on DVD from this show that just had like a couple episodes. And then I don't even think there was VHS. I don't know if there were VHS of this show. But this is the only time they've ever put up the complete series. It has all 40 episodes plus 2 unaired episodes. And I used to watch this all the time. This was on Fox Kids. And this was always on when I got home from school. So I watched this a ton. And I liked this show a lot because I really liked the 90s Godzilla. And this is basically a direct continuation of that movie. And it's just really, really great. The animation's really good. The Godzilla animation is what's really impressive. It really still holds up today. I mean, just look at that artwork. It's really, really... If you've seen the 90s Godzilla, this looks really, really good compared to that. And it's just a continuation. It just sort of takes the original Godzilla, kind of format with Godzilla fights other big monsters and puts it onto a cartoon show. And basically, that's the whole show. It's just like basically classic Godzilla, but with the 90s Godzilla. And I think it does a really good job. I'm really happy to own it. I never thought it would, see it released, but it's really cool that it does. And I got this for like $8, which is crazy. And it has everything on it. So really happy to own this. Thank you, Mill Creek, for putting this out. This is one of my favorite cartoons from my childhood. So absolutely ecstatic to get that. And the next one, the last thing I got on DVD is another one from my childhood. And it's another one of those cartoons that I just never thought would come out. And this is even more surprising to me that it came out on DVD than that, because this is not very popular. Like I look on YouTube and I see like not very many videos about it. I don't see many people talking about it. I mean, there are some people like me that talk about it and remember it, but there's not a lot. And that is Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century. This is also by Mill Creek, and they released this year. And I am like super surprised this came out. It's not a great show by any means, and I watched a couple episodes before filming this, and it doesn't hold up that well at all. The CG is really bad, and the story is very, it's very quick moving. It's not that, I mean, it's interesting, but it's not like, oh, I gotta watch the next episode on the edge of my seat. It's just like, yeah, it's a kid's show that you can kind of sit down and enjoy. It's mindless fun, and it's just really surprising that they released this at all. It's such a strange show, and they put it out, and I'm just so happy that they did, because I have so many good memories of this. I believe this was, I think this was also on Fox Kids, but if I remember correctly, this was on Sundays, because I remember getting home from church, and this would be the first thing that was on when I could turn on the TV. And I watched this quite a lot. This is one of the shows that I watch quite often, and so I remember watching this a bunch, and it's just a very interesting show about them bringing Sherlock Holmes back to life in the 22nd century, and him trying to solve crimes in the future. And it's just really weird, and it's a strange concept, and I'm just really happy that it's out and stuff. And one of the other crazy things is that it comes with a digital copy. Like, there's a digital copy of this show. It's crazy, and I'm happy to own it, and thank you Mill Creek for making this again. I picked this one up for, I think, $10. This is the complete series. I think it's all 26 episodes or something like that, and it's just a really weird show. Not super popular, not super like well-known, but it's one that I watched a lot as a kid, and I'm just happy to own it to relive some of my childhood. Maybe one day I'll do a video of all the cartoons that I own from my childhood on DVD and Blu-ray and whatnot, because I think that'd be an interesting video, because I watched some weird shows not having cable. Those would be two of the examples there, and I've got quite a number of them on DVD actually. So, alright, so now let's move on to Blu-ray. So the stuff on Blu-ray that I got is interesting. Let's do the Steelbook first, because I did get one collector's edition Steelbook, and then we'll move on to the normal edition stuff. So the first thing that I did, that I picked up, was actually a double dip. I don't normally double dip on movies and Blu-rays, but this one I did for one reason in particular, and I'll talk about it in a second. And the first thing I got is Man of Steel Steelbook. Now, I already own this on DVD, but I liked this movie so much that I was really upset that I waited so long to get into the DC universe. Like, I'm really upset that I put it off. And I bought the bare bones edition DVD that had no special features, and it was like $5, and I was like, yeah, this will be good enough. I'm probably not going to be that into the DC universe. And then I watched it, and I just was like, wow, I really wish I would have had this on Blu-ray. I want some special features and stuff like that. So I got the collector's edition Steelbook, and it comes with 3 discs, a bonus Blu-ray, the Blu-ray itself, and the DVD copy. And this is such a good movie. I love this. This is probably my second favorite DC Universe movie in the current DC cinematic universe. And it's so well done. I love this movie. And I'm just super happy to own it. If you've never seen it, or if you've been really skeptical about getting into the DC cinematic universe, don't. Just watch this movie. It's really, really good. It's very well done, and I'm super excited to own it. I'm probably gonna watch some of the special features now, and it's a really nice steelbook too. I mean, it's very simple, but it's very pleasing, and it kind of fits the movie very well. It's sort of got that gritty sort of look to it, and it's nice because it kind of has that steel look, because it is Man of Steel on steelbook. It's really nice, and I'm really happy to own this. I know I double dipped on that one, but I really wanted that movie. So, in continuation with that, I also picked up Suicide, the extended cut. Now I want to talk about this movie shortly, and I was super skeptical going into this movie. Out of all the DC Cinematic Universe stuff, this is the one that I heard the most about being awful. I heard that it was just an awful movie, absolutely terrible, probably one of the worst movies some people have ever seen, and it was just a horrible mess. The transitions were bad, everything about it was just awful, and it was just unwatchable from what I heard. And I was just like, wow, I didn't think that a studio this big could make that bad of a movie. And I trusted a lot of those people's opinions, so I never got... This movie right here is why I never started watching the DC Universe, because this, in combination with the mediocre reviews of a lot of the other movies, made me not want to watch it. Well, I watched Suicide Squad. I liked it. I honestly really enjoyed this movie. Now, I'm not going to say right now that people that have criticisms with this movie are unwarranted or they're being extra harsh. I can see the validity of some of these criticisms, and I think the editing was very sloppy, and some of the transitions didn't flow very smoothly, and I agree with that. However, the acting from the main cast is so good. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, and even Captain Boomerang were all really, really good, and they really carried the show in this. That lieutenant guy, he was really boring. I didn't like him as a character, but the main villain cast was so good, and their story and their dynamic that they played off each other was fantastic, and I enjoyed watching it. And believe it or not, I actually grew up with more DC stuff than actual Marvel stuff. I mean, I did watch the X-Men cartoon a lot when I was a kid, because that was on Fox Kids all the time, and so that's the only real exposure that I had to Marvel as a child. But I also watched the Batman animated series. The 1989 Batman I watched constantly. And I also watched the Christopher Reeve Superman. And so I watched a lot of DC stuff. I also watched Batman Beyond. And so I watched a lot of DC stuff, and I also played some DC computer games. I had the Superman Activity Center, and I was really, really into DC as a kid. And so, I mean, some of these characters are just like really B-list villains that you wouldn't expect to be in a big movie, and that's what, I don't know, I think that's what makes me like it so much, because I would never expect to see some of these characters in a movie, and I think they did a good job in characterizing them, and I think that it's just a really good movie. And I don't care what anyone says, I enjoyed this movie a lot, and I'm really happy to own it. Now, I will say I think the extended edition is what makes it a lot better. I think it really helps alleviate some of the editing problems in the standard version. So if you want to watch this movie, watch the extended cut, it's way better. But the problem is the extended cut's only available on Blu-ray. So you can't, unlike Batman v Superman, you can only watch the extended cut on Blu-ray. If you buy the DVD, you'll only be getting theatrical cut. So that's my one thing I want to say about this. I actually really like it, and I want to see more of Jared Leto's Joker, even though I'm not a super big fan of his Joker. I think he does better than Heath Ledger. Not to say that Heath Ledger was a bad actor in that movie, I just think he wasn't a good Joker. He was a good villain, but not a good Joker. I think Jared Leto does a little bit of a better job, not much, but a little bit, and I would like to see more of his Joker. And I would also love to see more of Harley Quinn, because she was fantastic in this movie. So, really happy to own Suicide Squad. Continuing on, I also picked up Wonder Woman. I am so impressed with Wonder Woman. It was the best DC movie in the cinematic universe that I have watched to date. Second to Man of Steel. So, it's so good. I don't know what to say about it. It's really, really good. Now, it doesn't really feel like the other DC movies in the universe. It feels a lot more like a Marvel movie, which I guess could be a good thing for some people, but Wonder Woman is a fantastic superhero movie, and it's very well rounded. It doesn't rely on any of the other DC Cinematic Universe stuff, so you can watch it independently. And, I mean, there are some scenes, there's a couple scenes with Batman in it in the very beginning, but other than that, you should get the gist of the story, and I think it was a really well done story. It kept you on your toes, the villain felt threatening, and that's one thing I will say about Suicide Squad 2, the villain felt really threatening in Suicide Squad, same with Man of Steel, and that's one thing that I think that DC has gotten right a lot more than Marvel. In Marvel, sometimes it feels like the villain is not really that big of a threat, and you know that nothing bad's gonna happen. Well, in the DC universe, I feel like it's much more high stakes, and I feel like they do a better job at tension with the final villain, save for one, which we'll get to momentarily. And I just really like this movie. I wanted to own this, and yeah, it's a great version. I love the slipcover, and I'm just really happy to own that. And lastly, I picked up the final movie in the DC universe that is currently out, and that is Justice League. Now, I will say one thing about Justice League. Villain was very disappointing. I didn't feel like there was any threat to the villain whatsoever. I just wasn't that intrigued at all. I feel like it was rushed. in terms of the villain. And I don't really know how they could have fixed that. I just do not like the villain in this movie, and that made the movie that much less enjoyable. And this is actually my least favorite of the DC Cinematic Universe movies. This would be the least favorite of mine. And I love the actors that play the heroes. Batman is fantastic, although in this movie he gets kicked around quite a lot. Aquaman's pretty cool, you don't see a lot of him in this movie. The Flash is fantastic. I love the Flash in this movie. He's so funny. His character's so great. I love his effects. He's so cool. Cyborg's pretty cool. I really like him a lot. He's got sort of that brooding personality, and I think he does a really good job of acting, even though he's mainly a CGI character. And then you obviously have Superman and Wonder Woman, who are just fantastic. They're my favorite two superheroes in this cinematic universe so far. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy with this movie. And the DC universe as a whole, I'm really, really enjoying. I just really wish that we could get some more backstory. I wish they would have saved this movie after they did some more independent superhero movies. Because if you think about it, there's only been 2 standalone films. The rest have been team-up films. And both of the standalone films are, in my opinion, the best in their cinematic universe. So I would love to see more standalone films. I'm really excited for Aquaman. I hope that's really good. But what I really want to see is The Flash and The Batman. I really want to see those movies. I don't know if there's ever going to be a Batman movie with Ben Affleck, with the rumors that I've been hearing. But the Flash movie, I really want to see the Flash movie. He's such a good Flash, and I think it could be a really good comedic movie. I'm really, really happy with the DC Cinematic Universe. I can't wait to see more from it, and I honestly am enjoying it more than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And for those of you who think, oh, he just doesn't like Marvel, I know I really do like Marvel a lot, and I've seen every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie in theaters. But what sets it apart for me is the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been very safe. A lot of their movies have been very safe feeling. You know none of the heroes are going to die. You know the good guy's always going to win, and it kind of follows the same formula for every single movie with a little bit of a twist here and there. Some of the recent movies have mixed it up a little bit more, such as Black Panther and Doctor Strange. So hopefully they continue that trend. Infinity War was the best Marvel Cinematic movie that I've seen, but I think that the DC movies are just far more unique feeling on a per movie basis than any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. So I'm really enjoying that. And yeah, so I'll stop rambling about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and get to the last movie here. So the last movie I picked up is in continuation with the Godzilla Complete series. I picked up Godzilla, the 1998 Godzilla with, oh, what's his name? Matthew Broderick. Yeah, Matthew Broderick's in this, and this was the movie I watched. This is the Godzilla I grew up with. Watched it all the time on my VHS. I'm pretty sure I wore this VHS out. I watched it so much. And it was a movie that I just really enjoyed watching as a kid, and I just watched it constantly. And so it's one that I've always kind of wanted to have in my collection, but I never really got around to it just because it's just I always thought it was a common movie, because if you look at VHSs anywhere, you will find a copy of Godzilla 1998. I guarantee you they're not that hard to find. And so I just kind of always considered it like a really common movie. I'll find it anywhere. But actually looking at it, I think this is the only Blu-ray release of it. So that's kind of interesting. But I'm happy to own it. It's got a couple special features on here, visual effects commentary, which I think will be very interesting because the Godzilla in this was very advanced for its time. Behind the scenes of Godzilla, all the best Godzilla fight scenes, and Heroes music video with the wallflowers, which might be interesting as well. So really happy to own that. That's pretty much everything I picked up. So I basically own everything in the DC Cinematic Universe on Blu-ray now, which is really cool to me. So here's everything I picked up on Blu-ray. And here's everything. Whoa! And there goes my DVD. Oh my goodness. New DVD covers are super slick. So here's everything I picked up on DVD. So let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. Did you watch any of these shows or movies when you were younger? What do you think about these movies? Let me know what you guys think about the DC Cinematic Universe. I'm always happy to talk about movies and TV shows. So I try to respond to all my comments. And if you have any movie recommendations for me, please let me know in the comment box below. I try to watch all the movies you guys recommend. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.